Alrighty. Are we cooking with gas? Let's see. We're cooking with gas. All right. What we're going to talk about are steps that you can take today to begin to get wealthy. One of the things that many people are looking to do is to skip steps, to skip stages. The first stage that you've got to handle is managing your money. Whatever money you have, wherever you are on the economic landscape, you need to handle your money. You need to handle it better. And one of the things that creates a problem for many people is a fundamental disregard of this fact. Many people just don't want to be accountable. And I've been listening to a lot of Dave Ramsey. Do you know that 82% of millionaires pay off their primary residential address within 8 years? This is one of the reasons that people who are making money are not on Bitcoin, or because they're like, I know how to make money. I don't need this cryptocurrency to make money. And, I had a lot of people who were talking smack to me. Well, let's look. Let's look. Bitcoin price. All right. It's crashing. A lot of people are like, you need to get in Bitcoin. You need to short Bitcoin. You need to. No, I need to keep doing what I'm doing that makes money. And once again, I have all of these people who are uninitiated, who've never made 10,000 in a month, who've never made 20,000 in a month, who've never made 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 or $100,000 in a month. They don't know what that feels like. So they're like, hey, everybody should be doing this, when those who know how to make money know that there are 1,000,001 ways to make money. There's 1,000,001 ways for you to put yourself on. So what we're going to do is there's a link below this stream for the Money Management Basics of Financial Wealth Development. This is where it starts. It ain't sexy, you handling your money correctly. It's not exciting, but it is mandatory and necessary for you to go to the next level. So go ahead, get the Money Management Basics of Financial Wealth Development course, 50% off, links below. And we're going to talk about what you have to do to make that money. First of all, the first thing you got to do is manage your money very well. And for those of you who have $500, $1,000, 2,000, 4, 6, 7, 8, you don't have enough money to invest. I'm going to be the only one to tell you that. Unless you're getting toward 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, 300,000, you don't have enough money to really make a meaningful investment. I know I shouldn't be saying that. Everyone's got to start investing somewhere, but keep it in the bank and go out and start a service business that starts making you cash every month. You know, $500 invested, 600, 700, that's chump change. That's really not going to move your net worth substantially anytime soon. So you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leave it in the bank or find yourself a good money market fund. Leave it there and develop a business that makes more money. But first of all, you need to scoop up this course and fix your financial house right now. You need to fix it. You need to go ahead and set yourself up accordingly, because the first thing you got to do is manage the money that you have very well. And most people are not managing their money. If you are making $50,000 and you got a car that's $40,000 on the car note, you're not managing your money correctly. You can't afford that car. I remember when I was in the military and I bought my first car, and I went from always having money to not having money. It was amazing how that $250, that $180 insurance just sucked up so much money. You're in the same situation. Your boy Rich, I think Amazon FBA is a trendy thing. If you get in, you better have something else going on. So, the course is about how to manage your money properly, because most people don't do it. Most people do not have their money segmented. Most people do not have a plan for their money. Most people are just out here winging it, getting payday loans, going to the pawn shop, high interest credit cards. So let's talk about credit. Credit should not be used for personal gain. You should not use credit to take trips. You should not use credit to do home additions. You should not use credit to live a higher lifestyle. This is an American syndrome where people are using credit to live at a higher level than they can based on their income, and it's an addiction. You should only use credit for profit-generating activities. You should use your personal credit for business. You should use your business credit for business. And this is one of the things, I'm telling y'all, you got to get out of the typical American lifestyle. You got to. Because, listen to Dave Ramsey. I'm seeing people, ordinary people, who are focusing their money on getting rid of debt. And I'm seeing people paying $200,000, $300,000 worth of debt off in 3 to 4 years because they've focused their money like a laser. And if you focus your money like a laser and you don't accumulate debt, the things you can do, and the things that you can set up, the things that you can begin to build. Malika Harris, I have $9,000 left in my car loan. Would it be best to pay it off before saving simultaneously? It sounds like a basic question, but I'm torn. Malika Harris, you should pay off that car as fast as you can before saving, because you're trying to save a little money over here. You're paying this car off over here. Your money is unfocused. And once your money becomes focused, it starts to grow. So you're not, I mean, once you get your car paid off, then take whatever you were paying for your car, throw this at some more debt if you have it, get all that debt gone before you start saving. Because once you get rid of Visa, Chase, car payment, you could have $800 to $1,200 a month that's just going out on bills that you can now turn around and save. And let's say you got $1,200 a month in bills. That's $14,000 a year cash money saved. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. So that's what you do. You should definitely, because see, this is one of the things with the basic money financial course, is it tells you things that are not popular. Like, you should not be trying to invest if you have any debt, because your money's unfocused. If you have debt and you're trying to, like take the Bitcoin. The reason that people are buying Bitcoin is they feel that Bitcoin will appreciate faster than their debt can accumulate. And that just, that's just a losing game. What you need to do is to get your money shipwright, super tight, and then make more money. Because once again, until you learn how to handle money, until you learn how to let some thousands of dollars just sit in the bank and you don't have to go out and do something crazy, regardless of how much money you may get from a business, winning the lottery, a hustle, you're always going to be in the same situation. You want to be in a situation where if additional money comes in, you can see the money and it can stack. If you're in a situation where you go out and you get to work, you're working a part-time job, you're getting all the overtime that you can get, and you just can't see yourself making any headway, you have bad money habits. And your money, if you don't manage your money's going to manage you. And that's where a lot of people are. Some people, Edward, are going to have to suck it up and dig deep for a year or two because they've made many bad financial decisions. This happens on Facebook a lot. Whenever it comes up paying cash for a car, there will be a multitude of people that will try to talk you out of paying cash for a car. Once you pay cash for a car, you save money. My 2 cars in the garage over there, they're paid off. They've been paid off. And I just don't, I got to go get my driver's license renewed. That's like the most stress that I have. I got to give that this month. Most people just do not handle their money very well. And let's say, right now they're trying to get Uber and Amazon drivers, Uber and Lyft drivers to $30 an hour. Once again, just because you have a child, you have bills, you have obligations, doesn't mean that job should pay you X amount of dollars. This is one of the biggest fallacies that, a living wage. If I work 40 hours, I should get enough money to handle my bills. Nobody told you to go out and have kids. Nobody told you to get married. Nobody told you to, no one told you to do all this stuff. So we have a lot of people here who are not really taking accountability of what they've done and how they've got themselves in harm's way. You got to manage your money well. Folks can't even do a strong down payment. Edward Anderson, I've been trying to sell one of my cars on the Facebook Marketplace, and nobody has cash. Everybody wants to do a trade. Nobody has cash. I went off on this one dude. The loss is locked in on cash buy for a car. Many folks with 72 months. Good Lord. End up paying more than the car is worth while still stuck with repair bills. That's a female mentality. Melissa, why can't people just wish one well? Look, this channel, we talk about the truth. This is not no happy kumbaya. We all together. Everybody's doing the best they can. Because the simple fact of the matter is that many people are not doing the best that they can. You make 50,000, your wife make 30,000, you got 2 car notes, you got a mortgage, you got all this credit. You're not living your best life. You're not doing the best you can. You're not managing your money. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up people's asses so they can feel good about messing up. All right, Brandon. One of the best cars to get cash is a late model Nissan Versa. I mean, whatever it is. I have one car that's very expensive to maintain. It's very temperamental. But I paid cash for it, so I never had a situation of cash, car payments, and repair bills. Absolutely, Killer B. Because this is the age of the feel good podcast. Everybody's trying to do the best they can, put out this information. I am not a member of that crew. I'm going to tell you the truth. And the truth of the matter is, if you're making less than $150,000, and even with $150,000, if you have a car note for more than a few months, you are hustling backwards. You make 6 figures, you shouldn't have a car note. I don't care what you're driving. 6 figures? That's more than enough money to save up and pay cash, or cash flow that car like your monthly payment's $600. You putting down $4,000 a month. Because see, the thing is, with car loans, their interest is front loaded. So the sooner that you pay it off earlier, the better. Like, if you pay on it for, you got like a 48-month note, and then you accelerate the last year, you're not saving that much money. You're just getting your car paid off. But you're not saving that much money. Because essentially, where you got to be, what's up, Garla Spitter 954? You got to put the work. Except, can you lease a car that you own outright personally? Possibly. Edward Anderson, a lot of people need the accountability part, not that feel-good shit. Pretty much. Because essentially, the first step to wealth development is managing your money. That's the first step. Managing your money right now, managing your money very well. Because if you don't manage your money, you're never going to develop an owner mindset. And what an owner mindset is. An owner mindset wants to own stuff. Like in this real estate game. Hold on. I'm seeing a lot of people get caught up sideways in this real estate game here in Atlanta because they went out and got some funding. They got a property. They started rehabbing, and they ran out of money because they don't know how to run a construction project. This is one of the reasons that I'm being very careful before I go out and buy a property. I'm probably going to get something that's already done. Because I'll just be honest, I don't know how to run a construction crew. In theory, it sounds easy, but every day in Zillow, I see people who messed up, who ran out of money, and they're trying to unload these properties. So, it is one of the things you have to do is manage your money well. Have your 5 bank accounts. Have your money segmented. Learn to save. Learn to save. Learn to stack cash. Learn to live on a budget. This is where the game is. This makes the money. This is where you will start to accelerate, because once you manage your money very well, then the next step is to make more money. See, once you start living like that, once you start making moves like that, once you start rolling like that, your life's going to be different. Because, see, there are many people who feel that they don't make enough money. That is wrong. The real issue is they don't know how to handle money, and they don't know how to live within their budget. Like, you making $30,000 a year, you can't live in this neighborhood. I mean, I don't care if someone will break down the house note where you can move over here. You can't live here. Expat crypto. I've thought about doing that, but once again, I'm looking at, because see, that whole process gets away from the ownership model. So you got access to this property, which you're renting out, and then you got to pay this person X amount of dollars, and you hope to make more per month than what this place is costing you. There's a lot of little gotchas in there, because I've seen people talk about it. There's, this person does like $2 million a year. It's got 14 employees, blah, blah. I think there can be an exception to any rule. And, I'm just looking at, what I ran into trying to find a Airbnb property to buy. I ran into these condos that did not allow rentals. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done with that. I may look at it, but I want to get back. I want to get into real estate. And I want to control my destiny. When you use cash, when you're the cash man, you get to control your destiny. With these properties, because I'm talking about a lot of them don't even lock in a year lease. They're just kind of all over the place. Also, Airbnb is coming under assault. There's a lot of cities and municipalities that are changing the rules, and you got to go out and get a permit and a license and all this other stuff. So I'll have to look into it. I'm not going to say it's off the table, but I got to look into it from a real perspective of having a property. So, we will see how that goes. You want to be in a situation where you can see your money accumulate, which means you got to get rid of all these little pesky bills. I mean, if your checking account looks like It hits your check hits your checking account, and within 5 days, the majority of it's gone because of all these bills. You're not managing your money correctly. Do you know that there are certain people who are paid like every 2 weeks? There's a few times a year they get paid 3 times per month. And if they were on a budget, that whole check would be free and clear. People are not managing their money correctly. People are not, because, this thing with this car, I mean, let me see. Let me go ahead and get in there. I mean, it's like everybody hits me up for a trade. No one has cash. And let me go ahead and hip you to something. Once you establish yourself as a person who consistently has cash and can do cash deals, you're going to separate yourself from the so-called competition that has to borrow money to do a deal. I want you to think about, you're sitting there, you're talking to a seller, and you're like, look, we can close tomorrow if you like, if the title company works that quick, because I got the cash right now. And, I was just looking at the number of people who were coming at me with trades, and they was talking about trading some crap. Oh, absolutely, Edward. Foxy Girl, yes, I have my third check twice a year. I map it out too. Casheroni, what happened to 30 days to 2,500? I got tired of putting up this awesome information and nobody was showing up. So if you want 30 days to 2,500, you can get the payment plan under this stream. Because I'm taking a different approach. 30 days to 2,500 works if you do the work. It's one of the best courses ever created. But a lot of folks are like, I don't want to do that. I want something sexy. I want a truck. I want something trendy. I want some Bitcoin. I don't want to do the work. No. It ain't sexy enough for me. This is how people get scammed with the $30,000 and $50,000 on these real estate flipping tutorials. I was like, people are looking for something sexy. They're looking for something exciting. They're not looking for anything practical, improving the work, which is kind of crazy. But we got a lot of people out here who are looking for that sexiness. They need that sexiness to get excited to take action. Chris Monroe, the fastest ever closed a real estate deal was 5 days, cash money. Killer B, can you do 30 days, 25 with a full-time job? Absolutely. This designed to get you this side money. Nobody showed up to 30. Nah, they didn't show. People kill me with Bitcoin and Forex. I want the Hellcat that got on the internet. Pretty much, this is what gets people. Because, I saw these channels explode because someone was driving the Hellcat. Hellcat. I'm like, I see the cars. Yeah, I know they're powerful and they're fast and everything. But, thoughts on buying a house with tenants already in, instant cash flow, no rehab, nightmares of waiting to find a tenant. If you can find something like that, that's cool. Eric Williams, I show these truck repairs and tire costs, folks. It costs to be the boss. I've seen Forex all over the place, especially in Nigerian Twitter. Essentially, we got a lot of people who want to be sexy and get into all of this stuff without the real accountability. Because essentially, any business will work if you work the business. There's somebody out there, this company, right, makes these pens. It's $1 million. It's $1 million business making these pens. But people are looking for something sexy, exciting. They're not looking for practical. Lots of Bitcoin folks coming back around. They have no choice. Bitcoin keeps crashing. Bitcoin's going to be $100,000 at the end of 2019. It's currently 8,500. It got to 12 and it crashed, and it keeps crashing. Appliance boot camp. Nowadays, even with cash, it's taking me a couple of weeks to close a real estate deal. Title company and surveyors are backed up. It's hot market, man. Hot market. Nicholas Penn. Sexy don't pay the bills unless you're a stripper. You know what? A lot of strippers are getting out of stripping. Check out, do a search of YouTube of all these girls who do stripping tutorials. And once that YouTube and Instagram money gets nice, they quit stripping. They quit. Christopher, I'm just waiting to sell out the rest of my Bitcoin. I sold all mine. I got rid of every last bit of it. All these folks keep talking about this Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. They're rent seeking. They want to have an asset, make a lot of money, and not do anything. I do solar consulting. My goal is to break 5 figures in one check. Solar is very popular with these van life people. Very, very popular. So you got to go ahead and learn to manage your money appropriately, where when your money comes in, it isn't like on a catapult, being thrown out. So you got to cut your bills. You got to cut your costs. There's a lot of you who live alone who can rent out a room and get you $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 a month. House hacking. One of the things you could do is buy a house and rent out the rooms. I did that. I got this house. It was $1,000 a month. I rented out the top upstairs. I rented out the back room, and I was living rent free in a rental. I mean, if you and the reality is you don't have enough money to cover the month, you got to do some different stuff. I mean, especially like a lot of these chicks out here, man, they can't live on their own. I told y'all, like the one who with the 5.5 million, she's still trying to work me for this $650. And I said, I will help you, but I ain't paying nothing. That was my first email on the subject. Because I always know how these things end up, that somehow you got to have some kind of fee to receive money. And see, I am financially literate. I have received millions of dollars for free. So I know that there is no cost unless it's a scam. And I said, it sounds like a scam. It looks and feels like a scam. I will help. I will help you, but I'm not paying any money. And then the one who needs 4,500, I went ahead and gave her business an overview, and I was like, you got a cash flow problem because you're talking about for me to lend you 4,500 bucks, you can't make it on your own right now. There's something broken with your business model, and I'm not loaning you 4,500 bucks. And she's like, well, I need a little help. I was like, we all need a little help from time to time, but I'm not giving you 4,500 bucks because I'll never get it back. This is, the craziest thing because, I'm going to probably do something for Disruptive Mail because, the first version of Disruptive Mail, I was lying. I was lying about my job. I was lying about my name because, once I use my real name and they can Google me, this is the type of stuff that kind of happens. It's like, these two, they know I'm a business owner. One's been to the house and here's the ask. Boom. And this is why, as a business owner, when I meet chicks, I don't tell them I own a business because you can't really figure out who you dealing with if they know that you're in the economic advantageous position. You don't know if they like you or they're going to hit you up for some money. And this is, goes back to once you learn how to handle cash, which is a skill set, and then you learn how to make more money, which is another skill set, you make yourself very, very powerful in this current economy. And you got so many folks who just don't want to do the work, don't want to watch there's free tutorials on YouTube on how to learn how to sell. All you gotta do is watch them, then go out and execute. That's all you have to do. And people are like, I ain't trying to do that. It ain't sexy enough. It's gotta be sexy for me to get my attention to put into it, like trucking. I see a lot of people buying trucks, looking for drivers and stuff, and they don't understand. That's getting the truck is the easy part. The driver, that's the hardest part about the trucking thing. Getting a reliable and consistent driver. Because folks don't want to act right. And, Erica was talking about all these drivers are broke, got bad credit. Bad habits lead to bad outcomes. I mean, you got people with no money, man. So once you become a cash producer, someone who can get cash, who can stack cash, who can manage cash, dude, you become omnipotent. You become so powerful because, like, I've been watching all of these real estate people, and very few of them have their own money to run their own deals. After 14, 15 years. And if they're making as much money as they say they are, they're paying uber money in taxes. But once again, it's the same process. Once you become a business owner, let's say like you run a real estate firm and your real estate firm does like $200,000 a month wholesale. You need to live on 7 of that and bank the rest and buy a rental. Go out and buy you a cash rental, put you a tenant in there and do that every month for a few years. In 3 years, you got like 30-some rentals. Let's see. Let's look at. You got, let's see, 3 years, 36 rentals times 1,500. That's $54,000 a month coming in passively. and you're still running your business. So I just understand that a lot of these folks don't have money to run their own deals. They just don't. Oh, you definitely have to be consistent with your hustle. That's a very important thing, to be very consistent with your hustle. And a lot of people, they're out here just playing around. You know, like the other day, I saw someone on, because I had posted the video on my Dominant Man page, and someone was like, bullshit, you got to suffer. People don't even want to hear that, man. They don't even want to hear that they may have to experience some hardship in their life. Black Caesar, Uncle G, what possibly be the determining factor about the economy that would take from us recession to another Great Depression? Trump. Trump has already put a lot of farmers out of business with these tariffs. Trucking, large trucking companies are going out of business. Trump. The recession is on lock. The yield curve has inverted not once, not two, but three times. Recession is on lock. And certain parts of the economy are already in recession. Retail are in recession. Retail's in really depression. So it's just a matter of time. But see, I did all of my recession videos a while ago just to tune y'all up, because essentially a recession is a great time if you're positioned to get wealthy. Because everything's on sale. Everything's cheap. Everything's on fire sale. So the recession should be your time to shine. Should be your time to come up. Because, I'm in the Atlanta real estate market, which is very, very hot right now, which is sizzling. And for certain properties, properties under 250K, priced right, dressed up nice, they're flying. They're flying off the marketplace. But what's sitting here is this stuff like, I bought this house, right, man? And I thought I was a real estate investor, and I got me Jimbo the bootleg contractor, and I ran out of money. And now I don't have no money, and all I got is this house. So I'm trying to sell this house so I can give me some money so I can reload and try it again. I see that every day, which tells you that the market is fat with confusion. Nicholas Payne, I roll around a bucket that I bought in cash from the richest out of all my friends. Look here, yeah, become a minority, later become a signing lord, get knowledge in Atlanta real estate because it is lit here. It's crazy here, man. Oh yeah, some drop shippers are feeling it. Because see, Facebook ads are going up because it's Q4, so everybody's advertising. But, once again, put yourself in the position to be a cash buyer, be a person with cash, be able to float your own deals. This is one of the things I learned from the storage auction business. Since it was primarily a cash business, you at Publix, you could use a credit card, where I use my Home Depot $100,000 credit card. But there was a lot of auctions that only took cash, which means that you had to buy product, put it through your system, and make money to reload. So it forced me to be cash conscious. And that's where a lot of you need to be, because if you got, like, you could give me $5,000 cash and I can hit Craigslist, and in a month I could turn that to 10 to 15,000. I got those kind of skills. But, a lot of people don't have it. Move-in ready or with a tenant already are hot commodities now. And I got a question. Why would you sell a property with a tenant in it? Yes, ma'am. I'm coming out of a shitstorm and ate up my assets. I'm returning to consulting, trying to double up again. How can I start? Just get started, man. Get on the phone, start making calls. It's crazy in Raleigh too, in reality. Black Caesar, you want to get in that weed game. You want to be the weed man. The big point of this, what I'm telling you guys, is the elements of making money. The first element is managing the money very well. The second element is learning to make more money, learning how to put deals together. Because I listen to a lot of these real estate podcasts, and, everybody's got this situation where I didn't have no money, my car got repoed. These are indicators of bad financial management, because you getting your car repoed, that's not good. Then they start these agencies, then they're making all this wholesale money, but what they're doing is they have a high income but no real wealth. This is the problem, because once you get up to 20, 30, 40 rentals, that's some real wealth. That's some real money. But a lot of these guys are concentrated on these assignment fees, and that's going to catch up with them. The turnover in tenants is crazy here. I personally prefer not to have a tenant in the house. They may have a lot of bad habits. I don't know, Ben the bartender, but it's just crazy. T. Harden, absolutely. Every state, these administration fees are due the beginning of the year. Oh, you can get rich during a recession if you're positioned to make money. If you have cash. If you are in the marketplace. Or if you are, doing something. And see, Robert Kiyosaki, he was already positioned because of the sales of his Rich Dad program. He had a lot of money. Because, when you listen to a Robert Kiyosaki, a Grant Cardone, you got to realize you're dealing with someone that can do things that you can't. Like, I listen to Grant with one ear and another ear is closed, because, when he talks about doing 100 million, 140, $150 million deals, I'm not at that level. I can't do that. And him talking about that deal is like taking me to a department store, showing me all this nice stuff I can't afford. So that's why. Well, a big part of this rental game is, people don't talk about the hardship. They don't talk about the process and the issues that you go through. Beware of serial squatters. Real estate's a wild game. If the recession hits, many people probably won't be able to afford to rent anymore. How do you offset that as a landlord? Malika Harris, just go back. I want you to think of, because essentially a lot of people did get evicted. A lot of people lost their jobs, did not have money to pay rent. But how you offset that as a landlord is you have multiple properties, because everybody's not going to get fired. You know, you got one rental, the person there gets let go. Yeah, you got a problem. But say you got 25 rentals and 2 people have issues. You still got 23 that are cash flowing. So that's how you offset. I knew this cool nerd that created a cell phone company, made $30,000 his first month, but wasted it all and couldn't make any more money. He didn't hold any money to run the company. Millions of dollars in deals require partners. Black Caesar, a friend of mine's parents had a tenant whose children destroyed the bottom apartment of their house. The stepfather paid the woman $5,000 to get her and kids out of their house. That is one of the issues with house hacking. You can get some bums in there like that. You definitely got to have a plan for big money before it comes, man. You definitely have to. And one of the things about what I'm talking about, what it will do for you is give you more power in the partnership because you come in with cash. Because, you know, like all these guys who are doing all this flipping, who have to, someone talk about, someone does 30 flips a year. He has to borrow money for each flip. To me, this person isn't putting any money away because at 30 flips a year, in the average flip, let's see, 30 flips times average 62,000. That's $1.8 million in a year. Almost $2 million. So part of the problem is, as that money's coming in, they're spending it. Because if I was getting, let's see, 30 flips, that's 62K times 2. It's $124,000 a month. You know, if they're earning average flip money, they're spending this money. This goes back to bad financial management. Because once again, you know, like let's say you start a real estate business and you start cranking and you hit 150, 200K a month. You need to bank that the first 2 or 3 years to really set your business up, which means you can't spend it. You can't buy the Rollie. You can't buy the Porsche. I remember watching this podcast, and it was a good one about trucking. And this guy had been in trucking for 8 or 9 years before he started buying himself stuff. Because he kept reinvesting the money back in the company, and that's what you got to do. And a lot of people don't understand that because they want to spend all the money. Once again, I'm thinking about wholesaling. I mean, if you wholesale, for every 2 or 3 deals, you should have a rental for the tax position, because essentially if you have enough rentals, that will give you depreciations. Like, you know, you have enough rentals, you could depreciate like $200,000-$300,000 that you can make. And because you have that depreciation, you don't pay taxes on that money. You know, running a business is very much about balance, budgeting, and discipline. I mean, being the bartender, these folks, they spend thrifty. Because I watch all of these podcasts and these guys like, how come you don't have your own economic base? Why you got to keep borrowing this money? You done made 2 million, 3 million last year. Okay. But why you still borrowing money? Because you spending it all. All right, I'm getting ready to get out of here. So go below, get the basic financial education course. That link's below. Get 50% off today and begin working on the essential ingredients for you to become wealthy, because I have not met a millionaire that can't handle money. I've met a lot of hustlers who couldn't handle money, but I've not met any millionaires. All right, so with that, I'll